Our company was created to produce a series of children's books that we have written, helping parents and their children conquer firsts in life.
As a parent, I have many times come across a situation where, she was scared to go to the dentist.
It helps them to have a better experience. So the first time they brush their teeth or the first time they have a swimming lesson, it won't be such a shock to them.
An accompanying story within that has a lesson for being brave and learning how to conquer that fear of something new.
I always turn to books to help me convey a message to my daughters, or to help them overcome a difficult situation or something that they're scared of.
I'm Nicole Fonovich. I'm the president of Luca Lashes, LLC. Through my son's first experiences, I've realized that these firsts are often not only frightening for kids, but for parents as well. And I figured if I'm gonna have these scary first experiences, I'm sure there's a ton of other parents out there who feel the same way.
Our age group that we're dealing with right now is 0 to 4, so we try and think of ideas that a 0 to 4-year-old would have.
Much research is done internally on what key concepts we're trying to make sure both readers and parents take from that book.
And then we start to create an outline. And sometimes that outline is 2 or 3 pages long. And basically it's an outline of important points that we think needs to be touched on in the story. And from that we then give it to Demir, and he does an amazing job of trying to put our 3 pages of facts and outlines into a story that rhymes.
Rhyming is a great way to teach how a word sounds and how a word comes out. So, I think from the beginning, my entire thought process was to make it rhyme.
Also, what I like about these books is that the main character, Luca, has a little trick himself that he uses to help make himself not scared. And any child can think of a special strength that they have within themselves, whether it's blinking your eyelashes or whether it's giving yourself a little pep talk before you go in, or whether it's pretending you have big muscles and that's what you do to make yourself feel better. And so it allows any child who reads these books the opportunity to figure out what their own little trick is going to be for themselves to help make themselves feel stronger, more confident, and more assured in their experience.
Well, we find that the parent sections are really what separate our book. If going through all the books that we've gotten for our son, one of the rarest things to find is actually a book with some resources for some parents.
For the illustrator, that was the most interesting and the most fun. We actually put an ad in Craigslist and we had auditions.
I always really loved children's books, and when I was growing up I remember, all this really vivid imagery from the Peter Rabbit books or Frog and Toad or all of those classic children's books from my era. And it's funny because looking back in this process, I look back to see the things that I identified with, and I have a similar style to those books. I think I've subconsciously picked up the traits that I was attracted to as a child.
We felt that it was really imperative to not only produce the book in English, but to try to translate into as many languages as possible, because it was a wonderful learning opportunity for children. Not only could they read the story in English, but at the same time they could then switch it to Spanish, switch it to French, switch it to Italian, maybe other languages to come. When parents are on the go, it's a great way to introduce that foreign language without the huge expense of maybe sending them to language school.
At an early age, kids are sponges, and it's so much easier to learn another language that way. So I think it's great that these stories are provided in other languages other than English.
The opportunity to be able to have a family in Africa who speaks French, or a family in Canada who speaks French, or a family in the islands that speaks French, or a family in France that speaks French, to be able to download these books and use them in their home I think it's such a beautiful opportunity to reach the entire global market, and I think it's really smart of Nicole and Damir and Camille to want to do this.
I really think that technology is really the future of education when it comes with children. As a teacher, over the last couple of years, you've seen the introduction of things like smartboards into the classroom. If you've seen what a smartboard looks like, it is a giant iPad screen that teachers can actually touch and manipulate with the internet and with their lessons, and actually use a lot of screen-based and technology-based education to really help with topics.
We actually have two different types of books we're producing. We're producing eBooks, which don't have any interactive ability, along with applications, which are interactive. All of those will be audio, narrated in 4 different languages. However, the applications allow the user to really experience that book by using sight, sound, and touch. The book actually comes to life.
I didn't realize that how different it would be until after I finished the first book, or at least was partially through. So instead of drawing everything flat and solid, you have to draw everything in pieces and fit it together, because you're going to have to cut it out anyway. And I think that first book was a challenge because I had to go back to things that I made solid and then draw behind it, thinking, like no one's going to see this, background piece, but it's supposed to move.
Our overall goal that we're trying to accomplish is to have an end product that is affordable, that could allow parents and children to really become comfortable with these first experiences in life, in the privacy of their own home, or maybe in the backseat of a car, or maybe a wait at the doctor's office, making use of time that otherwise could be wasted, with a product that is easily carried from place to place to place.
We do have a website. Our website is www.lucalashes.com, and it should be live in mid-December. And we would love for our readers to give us suggestions or feedback. We have a Contact Us section that they can go to.
Ultimately, I hope Luca Lashes accomplishes a storyline with a relatable character that helps parents and their kids conquer firsts in life.